you're inspiring me, because that's something I talk about Marcelo with all the time, that when the kids are all done, everything, our job is done as parents, and they're all in college. My youngest, we're, God willing, if it's in our cards, we're gonna, have the house paid off, get a Winnebago, and just travel cross country, bro.
That's it, dude. I mean, it's
and with my job, I can work virtual anywhere I go, man.
You know what we're calling it? My wife nicknamed it the Love Shack, because I did a little video with the Love Shack. So she nicknamed it Love Shack. So then I was calling it the Monaghan Love Shack. So now we're going to, just for short, we're going to call it the MLS. To play off a Saturday Night Live, real estate been very, very good to me. So the Monaghan.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, brother. I'm very happy for you, man.
I can do my meetings as I did last week. I can do my meetings right from there. We're going to pull it around. We're looking at today to have it all set up next to the house. It's going to be a cabana next to the pool.
Oh yeah.
So, okay. So we talked about Zillow. We talked about what's going on there. As we get closer to getting going now, next week, I want to let y'all know, next week, we've got a lawyer and a title company coming in, and they're going to be talking about the new contract, the new FAR bar that's coming into effect November 1st. So they'll be here on the 27th. Then the week after that, we have the people that are coming in from Land Voice. And this is a new data company. And what they do, and they claim to be the only ones doing it, but they will provide telephone number and emails. And they claim that they get a lot more because they have been able to tap into the same database that the FBI and ICE use to track people down. So they claim they do much better than some of the other data companies. So we're going to let them present to us. We just finished the 13-week start program with the new agents. So we're going to start to roll that one out again for some more new agents. By the way, let me introduce Rob Kelix. Rob is a new agent with us. And Rob is the son-in-law of Naomi and Rich. So he's a new agent, very high-tech kind of guy from what I understand, has his bachelor's of fine arts, and he's a graphic design guy. So some of you all might want to avail yourself of, some trading knowledge with him. If he'll help you, you'll help him. That's what we do. That acronym for team, together everyone achieves more. Also on a great news, I hope Doug doesn't mind me mentioning this, but our boy Doug Babcock had some health problems, and he got to ring the bell for finishing his cancer treatment, and so that was a big thing. Somebody's playing some music. It sounds like good music, but we really don't want to put it on for everybody. Thank you. So
I couldn't resist. It was a Love Shack.
You're a pip, Arthur. You are an absolute pip. All right. Well, all right. So let's do, what do you got? What do you need? Anybody?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you 4x4, Ms. Gratis.
Thank you. Good morning. I am looking for an office, medical office building. Is for one single doctor. He's currently on Pines Boulevard, so he's looking for something that is a freestanding building up to maybe $700,000, and he needed like tomorrow. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,800 square feet. And if he needs to do some renovation, he's prepared to do that. I am also looking for a second set of doctors in Miami Lakes, looking for either a shopping center that takes new clinics. It looks like everybody's into new clinics now. Looking for about 3,500 square feet. They might consider purchasing, but since this is their very first clinic, they are more inclined to renting it. And I noticed that almost everything is about 30 plus dollars per square foot. So that gives me a price range, you know. Anybody working with that, I will certainly appreciate the information.
Okay,
That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
anybody else? What do you got? What do you need? I know Graziella's not here today. She has 2 closings today. Any day you double your closings, that's a great day.
Yes.
She actually said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be at the meeting today. I have 2 closings. I said, I would rather have you have 2 closings than be in the meeting. So good news there.
I have news. Barbara there, by the way? No. Okay, so Barbara has a property she didn't put on the market yet, and it's a flip. So she was going to call Matt and Shane. I don't know if she's done that, but she called me and told me to send it to my clients. So if anyone wants in North Miami, there is it's a 4-3 and it needs a total redo. And it's not on the market. Call her, Barbara Vertis.
What's her number?
Her number. Okay. When I get a chance, I will put the number in the chat.
Okay.
How is that?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. And
Thank
that's
you
it. I
very-
have nothing right now. I'm in contracts and I'm buying and I'm good.
Kadeen,
I'm looking for,
uh,
I'm looking,
I have a
One
number for
second, what-
Barbara here for everybody that wants
oh,
it.
good.
954 336 1655 954 336 1655. And the other number I have is also a 954 210 9421. 210 9421. That's for Barbara V.
One more thing, guys, I'm looking for, I'm putting it out there for a body shop in the Palm Beach counties, Boca and North. A very serious buyer, I guess, either buy or rent. They have one in West Park in Hollywood. They're looking to open a new one as soon as possible. I was not successful so far. So if anyone knows anything, let me know. We share.
Okay?
Kadeen, I wanted to ask you, this is Vera. You had the closing in Jade. I have 2 more buyers looking in Jade. Maybe you happen to know anyone else who are looking to sell in that building.
Yeah, I do, but it's only a 1-1. And I'm putting postcards now, so I'm sure I'm gonna get some, I'm not sure, but I hope I'm gonna get some calls. I'll let you know, but I have a 1-1.
No, I need 3 or 4 for 2 buyers, both cash buyers. They don't like
Okay.
anything that's currently on the market. So if
Okay.
you happen to know someone, let me know.
Yeah, I have postcards going out, so I'm sure that I will get something.
Hey, that's the Jade condo.
Jade Ocean.
It's a condominium, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that the one near Brico?
I think I
No,
already have
it's
that.
Stony Isles.
Yeah, I
Sonny,
think I
yeah.
had Kadan, I think I have, and Vera, I think I have that condo already fully approved. So as low as 5% down in there.
My buyers are cash buyers, so.
So that condo's fully approved already.
Oh,
All right.
good.
Yeah, it's on my approval list. Jade's on my approval list for fully approved, I believe.
Alberto,
way-
how is Beach
That way,
Club?
any clients that just so you guys not to chime in, since we're talking about condos. Listen, really quick, I'll give you an example. I just rescued another deal for a condo, and I'm trying to help Shane and Vera out as well on another condo that pretty much I've approved as well on my list. So what happens is this. For those of you that are new and those that have been with us for a while, might have forgot, brush off the dust a little bit. Remember, on condominiums, I can get a condominium approved for a full review and financing without even having the borrower pay for the questionnaire. If I just generate a lead, okay, in my system, and they send me over their documents, fill out the application, and I confirm that they're good to go, and there's this particular condominium that they're just condo shoppers, and you have condominiums that they're interested in, you just give me the HOA contact information, the name of the address, the property address, the HOA contact, and the name of the association. I submit it to my condo team, and then if the third party management company is due diligence and gets everything done, I pay for the questionnaire out of my pocket, and then that condominium gets approved without even having a contract yet, so nobody wastes their time and money. So I'll give you an example. I just had a deal that for another realtor that I want to make an offer on a condo, and the other lender said they couldn't do it, and then I sent it to my guys, and that condominium's already on my list. So right away, within 5 minutes, I already told her that condo's approved, and for a year, it's on my specific condo approved list, and any buyers don't have to pay for a questionnaire since already approved on my list. So you're saving them right there about $200 to $300 to $400 right there. So does the questionnaires not have to be done because I have it done already?
Plus you have the inside scoop that you know that they can get in with a lower down payment.
Correct.
And for the new people that are here, for the newer agents and for a couple of brand new agents, this is why meetings are important. I mean, I like to, do the coaching and training, give you new information and insights and everything, but this is where sort of the rubber meets the road because agents are talking with each other. So people are giving each other deals. Hey, this is what I'm looking for. You just had this over here. It's that whole synergy of together we all achieve more. Together, everyone achieves more. It stands for team. So important point, and especially with stuff like that. And as we saw yesterday in the Tuesday meeting, go for you, Ed.
Yeah, I came a little late in this webinar. Good morning or afternoon. Real quickly, I have a little manufacturing plant for $200,000 in Plantation. They manufacture orthopedic braces for doctors, hospital, rehab centers under the name Dr. Palumbo. Dr. Palumbo is a recognized national or worldwide brand, and they paid $125,000 alone for that name. Plus, it's all the equipment and inventory. So it's a ready-to-go company that they're selling for $200,000. And the other thing I'm looking for, I have a client that wants at least a half an acre, plenty of parking, up to $1 million. It could be 3 bedrooms or more, probably about 2,800 square feet or more. Davie, Cooper City, Plantation, and Southwest Ranches.
So this is the part of the meeting we call, what do you got? What do you need? So, because when you get to work with an agent from the same firm, two friends doing it, the deal happens much better, much easier, much quicker, because we solve the problems together. We have Jose Munoz here with us from up in Jacksonville today. He's on mute, but he's still talking. Here, let me see if. All right. So anybody else? What do you got? What do you need?
Okay, I unmuted myself.
Go ahead.
I just picked up a 2-2 condo in Margate for 165.
Wow.
Can't hear you, bro.
He's got a 2-2 condo in Margate for 165,000. And you're back on mute again. Jose.
Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I got the 2-2 in Margate for 165, and I got a 3-2.5 in Hialeah townhome for 295. I'm going to be listing those properties this coming week, this weekend when I'm back, with pictures and everything. So if you want, I can give you the addresses now, or you can wait till I list them on Saturday or Sunday when I'm back in town.
Okay, whatever you want to put in the, there's a chat. You can put anything in there if you want.
I'll do that.
Okay. Anybody else? What do you got? What do you need? All right. So we're gonna
Hey,
send.
John.
Yeah.
John, sorry. I do. I have a client looking for a short-term rental, and I don't have too much luck with those sometimes, but it's a high end. They're willing to pay up to 8,000 from January through April, and as you guys know, everything's already taken, a lot of things. So something high end, doesn't have to be on the beach, preferably Pompano or Hillsborough.
Does it need to be, obviously it needs to be furnished if it's short term, right?
Yeah, furnished. And some of the trouble we're having is, the type of furniture sometimes these things have, like it's just looks dingy, and so just something nice. They're willing to do a house. They're willing to be flexible with, as long as you can walk to the beach or be close enough to drive to the beach.
Sam, put them in La Perla in Sunny Isles. There's some availability.
Oh, really? They didn't
Of
want to be
course,
as far south,
always,
but I'm going to start
always
opening there.
there.
Okay. They
And
prefer a
there's
little bit
no
north.
There's no application process or anything.
Oh, good. La Perla.
So
Okay, I'll
look
write
in
that down.
La Perla, there is no application. They can do whatever they want. There's a lot of units. And then Trump 1 allows 3 months. You said January to what?
January through April. So the 3 months,
that
January,
would work.
February,
So
March.
look at Trump 1 and 2. Trump 3 doesn't allow it, but La Perla has a whole bunch. So take a look at that.
La Perla and Trump 1 and 2. All right, awesome.
And
Thank you.
I'm buying in a beach club, and very easy to rent, and he's gonna rent it right away because he has a lease. So Alberto, and I'll talk to you about it too. You
Yeah,
have it
yeah.
approved that it's good.
For those of you, and to this day, maybe 1 or 2 realtors have taken advantage of this. Okay. I have no problem if you guys have 5 to 10 lists of condos that you want me to see and get approved and see if they're on the approval list. My condo team loves it. They want business. There's a gentleman that Joseph, some of you might have heard of him, some might have had somebody that he's like the condo king for Movement Mortgage down there in South Beach in Miami, Joseph Muhammad. He basically lives and dies off of condominiums. He's gone to every single condominium in South Beach, developed a relationship with the management companies, and has submitted every condominium down there on Brickell and South Beach for approval. He is like the number 5 condo guy in Movement Mortgage because all he does is condos, and he has realtors that have jumped aboard with him and just market condos and give them condos. And so that's it down here, on this side of the neck of the woods in Broward, Fort Lauderdale. I can tell you whatever you're talking about, and I don't mind. Because think about it, and the thing is that if he's gotten condos approved on his side already, for those of you that have clients that want to buy in Miami, Brickell, South Beach, you just got to tell me the name of the condo because my condo team already has a buttload of condos approved. So if you say, hey, Alberto, you know what? Send me a list of condos in South Beach, in Miami, in Brickell, and Broward, that are approved with you guys. I'll get it from my condo team, send you the spreadsheet, and then you guys will know exactly which condos are already approved with us. As low as 5% down and 3% down for first-time home buyers. So let me tell you, the market is there. John touched a point, and I love this time of year. I'm going to tell you why. This time of year is when I don't sit back. In October, November, and December, and January is when I go full throttle. I enjoy the holidays, but I'm working while I'm in Disney. I'm working during the holidays. I'm helping my realtors out because all these other loan officers, they get in the habit of taking a break because of the holidays. No, because you guys are trying to make your money. This is when you want to pick up more deals like John and Matt and Shane preach about. So you need to have a team member that has the same mentality. And every time this year is when I really start picking it up. And why? Because it gives me good money for January, February, and March. Because I'm hustling in November, October, and December. That's the mentality you guys have.
Yep. You gotta plant the seeds you gotta till the soil, plant the seeds, and then things grow during the season, So this is that time. What I'm going to do now, I want to do a couple of things, and then we're going to have Alberto talk a little bit, and then we'll end up with a Brian. But just to let you know, I'm going to take over the screen here, that our boys at Back At You are going through a name change. So Back At You is now Social Bay. Basically a cosmetic change for us, but just to let you know that, they're rebranding the product. and they're going to make it more accurate and more unified. They're going to add more tools and more synergy. So it's all set up. And I'll put this link for back at you in the text, but everything's going to be working, announcing Social Bay. So big branding thing for them, but not much changes for us. Now, talking about that, one of the things that I would suggest to everybody is that the system is automatically set up, it defaults to broadcasting for you every other day. You can go into the system and have it broadcast for you every day. I would say every day, because they're putting out great content for you. All right. So now I want to go to our little thing with Brian. So hold on just a second. And share it. There we go.
If you're all worried about, how many offers you write and get under contract, you're going to get real frustrated in this market. So we focus on the activities. How many contacts are you making? How many active buyers are you building?
2020, the best year ever in real estate.
A team goal or an organizational goal. This could be a brokerage too, by the way. It doesn't have to be necessarily a real estate team. So it's a viral goal that encompasses the goals of all the different team members. So it actually it's gonna be a goal that runs virally through the entire organization. So let's say a real estate team, you've got buyers agents, listing specialists, inside sales agents, listing managers. They've all got personal goals. Those personal goals are tied into the team's organizational goal. And we show you how to build that so that everybody's vested, because too often with real estate teams, you have a high performing leader that has a goal, and that's the only person who really cares about the team's goal. The rest just want to get their money, you know what I'm saying, and get paid. So they aren't all bought into the team's goal.
Yeah, every agent should have their own goal and their own dashboard, in my opinion, so they can have positive accountability with whoever's leading that team.
Absolutely, and it should be all aligned. Yeah, and your platform at C-Suite does a great job of doing that. Our second key component is we're activity based, right? We have to focus on activities, not just results. Because too often we get hung up on the results, and that is a killer in this market, like we just talked about. If you're all worried about, how many offers you write and get under contract, you're going to get real frustrated in this market. So we focus on the activities. How many contacts are you making? How many active buyers are you building? And we have faith that by focusing on activities, the results will follow. So our key focus is activities out in front of us all the time.
And that's what Alberto and I were talking about a few minutes ago. Because the season slowed down doesn't mean you slow down. This is where you get active, so then you can start cashing the checks when the season rolls in. But because of the big reshuffle and everything that's going on in real estate, it's almost not a downside. We're getting fewer sales, but they are increasing in price.
So an active buyer would be basically anybody in their pipeline, really. Maybe it's a signed buyer. Is that what that is? Signed buyer broker or something?
Yeah, well, I like to kind of do it, but yes, you are correct. Usually it's an A buyer that we're trying to move into a signed buyer exclusive agency agreement, right? So we're focusing, or people even call those buyer listings, so we've got this buyer inventory growing. Right. So our focus is constant contact to our A buyers that are actively looking and would buy something if they found the house they wanted, and they will actively go look right now. That roughly is what we call an A buyer. And we're repeatedly focusing our most attention on those birds in the hand. And we're trying to move them into our pipeline that has signed a buyer broker agreement. Whoever gets the most buyer broker agreements, that's the result. The activity that we're focused on, the ABI, is contacts made to those active buyers.
Hey Stanley, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, hold on 1 second.
Contacts made, conversations, or text messages, whatever.
Correct, you bet. And that's our focusing on those activities. And how do we do that? What are the different ways we do that? What different markets do we do that in? There's a bunch of different ways to generate business in real estate, and a lot of different ways you can do that. And we talk a lot about that in the book. And then our third component is cultivating responsibility through public accountability. And that's where, a C-suite, dashboard up in front of a whole team daily, weekly, so that everybody sees and everybody's vulnerable to their efforts with regards to those activities. And results are also public too. We want to make those public. And that's just kind of like, that's pretty basic. I think everybody can relate to trying to go to the gym by yourself or trying to work out by yourself, or do you really go to church if your wife doesn't make you, having that public accountability increases
That's the guy that's been married recently, by the way.
the likelihood that you're going to do something a little bit uncomfortable that ultimately gets you the results you want. So trying to cultivate personal responsibility through public accountability is the concept that leads us into what I mentioned before, driving growth with a dashboard.
Now, your dashboard, for those of you that use it, is that 135 business plan that we work on. Because if you've got your outcomes and the benefits of those outcomes visual to you, you can hold yourself personally responsible. If you're not on a team, maybe you pick out a partner, somebody that you like, that you work with, that knows it, that's, even on our team or in the business, and trade your 135s. Because the minute you tell people that that's what you're going to do, your subconscious finds a way to do it. Energy and action follow thoughts. Deeply held thoughts create energy and action.
And then finally, the fifth one is huddling up. We got to meet. How do we meet? What are the best ways to meet? What are the best times to meet? What are team meeting agendas? How do we structure our meeting? And we call that huddling up.
Okay.
The word meeting, that's how we do it.
So the high producing real estate team, when this book comes out, not till September?
September 28th, that's correct.
Can I get a copy sooner?
That's Brian's new book.
I think I can get you a copy sooner. I think I can work that out, Brian.
That would be great.
I just don't know what format it's going to be in, but you'll be able to read it.
I'm going to see if we can just put a picture of each of these activities happening with the CSU, within CSU on your cover. That would be a good cover for us. We should
Yeah, I like that.
together. I think everything you point out in this book happens to be our focus. So that makes me happy.
I know that. I
Yeah.
thought you'd like it.
Yeah. Yes, very much so.
People are going to think we planned this, but we didn't.
No, we didn't. If it was planned, then CSU would be mentioned on the cover.
That's right. If you're all worried about,
All right, so we're going to sandwich Alberto with between two short Brian videos. So on our timeline, Alberto, are you available to speak now?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
All right, let's give us your sort of focus on what's going on in the business, what you see in the next year or 3 or 5, and Brian's going to come in with some things at the end about the 5-year projections. But over to you, Alberto Martinez. And again, for those that you weren't here, I went through a personal loan experience with Alberto and his team, and it was constant communication on top of the details, handling the problems, because things always come up no matter how long you've been doing it. And when you see him do the hundreds of loans for the company over the years, that's intellectually you see it. But when you do it with him and you feel it, it takes it to the next level. So I highly recommend this guy. Over to you, Alberto.
I appreciate it, John. Thanks. Hey guys, all you newbies over there. I had a little problem with my Zoom speaker on my computer, so I'm doing it on my phone. But yeah, I basically the news that I got coming out is some of you guys are really on top of this stuff, some aren't. So that's why, and I apologize for not getting on here for about 1 or 2 months. It's been a little bit crazy with some things going on, but I'm definitely gonna come back on here on Wednesdays because it's always good to hear my side and answer any questions you guys have. Basically, the news for what I want to get out is as of January, the new max loan limit for conventional loans is going up to 625. So what I mean by that, right now the max loan limit was about 548. So the government's moving it up. Fannie and Freddie are allowing conventional loans to 625. How does that benefit you? Is you don't fall now, any loans that come in at 625 don't fall into what's called the jumbo category, which is more restrictive guidelines, not flexible on debt to income, not flexible on self-employed. So with the 625 coming in, any loans that come in with that 625 threshold end up falling into the Fannie and Freddie automatic approval list, which is great for you guys. Now, what we're doing as movement, we're always 2 steps ahead. we're already accepting that loan limit. You don't have to wait with January for us. As of October, Monday this week, any loans that come in with a 625 loan limit, we will do it as a regular conventional loan. Okay, which is great. Goes to DU. Another thing that we have, we're growing here, is now we have jumbo loans as low as 5% down with no mortgage insurance. So if your borrower qualify, obviously with jumbo loans, they got to have, 720 credit score, 740. They have to have what's called reserves, which is 6 months to a year of the payment. So these are type of loans are more for your high-end clients, great income, good assets, as far as retirement, 401k, portfolios that have the money put away for the retirement. We can start doing 5% down. As far as the industry goes, listen, man, I'm not an economist. If I was, I probably going nuts myself. But I would say, in my experience over the years, the way the rates are, I don't see them ever going. Now that we're in the fourth quarter of the year, they're going to sit where they're at. I would say you're probably going to be sitting at the. We're no longer in the twos. Get that out of your head. There's no longer the mid twos to high twos going on without the borrower paying any cost. You might be able to get it easy with a 2.99, 2.937 on a 30-year. Maybe if you're lucky with no cost, if they got excellent credit and good down payment. But really right now, the rates, you're in that 3.1 to 3.5 range in there, depending on the scenario, which is still a great rate. If you look at a 20-year average, it's still really low. But I think we've gotten spoiled with these low rates for the last 2 or 3 years, People don't realize, I don't want to put a number on me or John, but, there were, I remember when my mom bought a house, you were paying 9 or 10% interest rate and nobody complained about it. So these young generations, they don't know what it's like. So, but I would say these rates will probably stick through all the way, to be honest. In my opinion, again, I'm not calm, but I would say we're good with these rates through next spring and summer, based on what John was talking about. We know with the COVID issue that our industry has kept this economy going. The housing industry and the mortgage industry is what kept the dollars churning in this country. So no matter what you hear, they're not going to let these rates shoot up to the 5s until we get things settled in my opinion. Simple and to the fact. They just can't do it. Because the minute the rates shoot up, everything stops. And then you guys are worried about no inventory. The minute the rates go up, you're going to have a lot of inventory because nobody's going to start selling anymore. And most of all, in Florida, you guys are in a good spot. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing. Because of this COVID thing, those Northeasterners, Boston, New York, those congested states, they're done, man. They're moving all down here like John, Shane, and Matt were telling you. They're coming down here. And then these baby boomers and then people that have kids are seniors and juniors getting ready to go to college. They're packing up, selling their homes and moving up north and getting more bang for the buck. And those New Yorkers and Boston and all those people up there are coming here and want these nice houses. So you guys are in a great market right now. And you don't need to be an economist to know what's going on. You guys are going to keep this going on for at least another year or two, in my opinion.
Yep.
And I'm always here. You guys got my email numbers. Cadet already emailed me some things. You can always call me 24/7, text me. I'm always available, And I did a trifecta, man. I did a deal for Shane and got him his new house. Matt Crack, I helped him get going on his deal, soon, and then we closed John. So if your 3 leaders trust me, then I'm all about the love and care. And I consider these guys family and you guys family.
I 100% agree. And not to mention, he's the pitcher on our championship softball team. Injured now, but he'll be coming back. Speaking of sports, how about those Red Sox? But moving along, before I hear from any New Yorkers.
And anybody have any questions? I'm here. If any question at all, I'm always right now. If you have any questions, anybody
got a question for our mortgage expert? All good. And Alberto, maybe we'll have you do a Tuesday session where the newbies can really ask you some questions. And by the way, I have another property. There's a wrap and smoothie location, prime location in Aventura, 15-year-old business. And they just had it. They just won out. They've run it so long. They're asking 500. We might be able to get them down to 400. and the wife is willing to stay on and manage the place if that's what the new buyer wants. So that's a commercial business for sale.
Hey, John, if I can chime in before I hop off, I think I'm done with you. I want to
Sure.
give to Ed, and I don't know if Tony's on. 2 months ago, they trusted me with a file that we really had a very complicated seller, and we fought to the end to get it done. A big, I think it was a $3-4 million deal. And props to Tony and Ed. They took care of these clients. They did their best and looked out for them, and I appreciate them trusting me and going through the process for that.
Good deal. Good deal. And I've got some comments I want to make about Ed Goldfarb, because everybody knows Ed's like I said, like caviar. To some people, it's black salty fish eggs and they don't get it. But if you have an educated palate, he's a great delicacy. And you guys remember back when Ed was sent down by a lawyer to get ready to sell a foreclosure, and he walked in and it was Dr. Anna. And now, for those of you that don't know, Dr. Anna is the Cuban lady that was locked up in Castro's prison. She was the longest held prisoner in Castro's prisons, beaten and treated terribly. Finally got out when Carter was making some moves, and finally got to the States, but got hooked up with a lady that flim-flammed her into a couple of mortgages on her house where she never got the money, and she was getting kicked out. Ed walked in, saw who she was. Now, many of you saw the article that was Ed wrote the letters and started the work. I helped out a bit, but he did a GoFundMe, raised tens of thousands of dollars for her, had the bank ready to had found a very well-to-do Cuban family that was going to buy the house at a good price and let her live in it for the rest of her life with a life lease. Then the bank, as banks do, underhanded, went and sold it to somebody in California for less than the price that the person here was offering, snuck it out against her, and made the sale. So now Ed continues to battle for her, and now Ed has got the mayor involved, and I'm going to turn it over. And Ed, you can let everybody know that she's not going to be homeless, that it's going to be taken care of because of the work that you really got started and got the community going. And as Ed said, that's what we do in America. We look out for each other. And this lady, in our mind, Ed and I, we think of her as like a hero of democracy. She's our Nelson Mandela. But Ed, tell us what's going on now with the mayor and Anna. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Go for it. Tell us about.
Okay, well, all right, we're basically, hold on, let me cross the street here. We're basically done. Let me go back and see if I can see a video here. Okay, anyway, if you can still hear me, I can't see you. Sunday, I got a call from Anna. I hadn't heard from her in a while. An attorney picked up the gauntlet named Bruce Jacobs, who was going after the bank for the RICO Act and a whole bunch of other stuff, because he's very much into bank fraud. Bottom line is the mayor called the benefactor, I'm not allowed to say who it is, and they worked out a deal. And while Bruce Jacobs still fighting the bank, they bought Anna another home, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, much newer, and she's already moved in. So the saga continues with the bank fraud, but Anna and her roommate, who she's been taking care of, who has Alzheimer's and doesn't even have Social Security because of, again, our screwed up governmental system, damn bureaucrats. The woman is very sick and she can't get Medicare because she doesn't have Social Security. It's been going on for a long time. So they have moved into the new house now, and I haven't gone over there yet, but I plan to very shortly. But the saga's over. At least Anna is saved. And by the way, Versailles, the Cuban restaurant on A Street, told Anna she can live in her, put her car in the parking lot if she wants and shower there. But it's wonderful that she doesn't have to do that. She has a beautiful, nice new home, or newer home.
Well, let me give you the Reader's Digest version. Ed Goldfarb walks into what's supposed to be a foreclosure where he's going to make himself a nice little amount of money with a lawyer that he's cultivated over years, and sees a little old lady in there who's shaking hands in the pictures on the wall with presidents, and she said, I know I'm gonna get evicted. I'll be living in my car in a few days. I understand. And Ed listened to her story and picked up the gauntlet and started doing the press releases and got us on the front page of the Miami Herald Sunday edition, above the fold, with with over 2 pages of Anna's story. And now Anna, instead of being homeless, this is a Cuban woman that fought against Castro, fought against communism, suffered horribly for over 2 decades in prison, is now safe and sound thanks to the good work of Ed Goldfarb. So, you know, he's not everybody's cup of tea, but he's mine. And proud of you, Ed. Proud of you.
Thank you, John.
All right.
One of these days, people will learn it's not about the money, because greed is epidemic in America.
You do your job right and you love what you do, and the money will follow. It's not make money and have fun. It's have fun and then make money. So, and as Ed said, sometimes, very often, there's more to it than just the money. You know, I lost my mom not long ago, and it was wonderful because when Anna came up and spoke to the team and had us all rap for a couple of hours, she picked up the phone and called my mom and told my mom what a good thing we were doing for her. So that was pretty good. Let me get you over to the rest of the story, Paul Harvey, so to speak, with Brian. Here we go. So here's the predictions from Brian for the next 5 years. This is only 11 minutes, so we're going to be staying under our 1 hour. So over to you, Brian. And again, Ed, thank you.
If you're a solo agent, man, you need to stop doing this alone. Like, you're going to need, like, whether it be a coach or a CRM, you're going to need to invest a little bit in your business here, because otherwise you're not going to do it yourself.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with what's happening in the industry? And I would love to get your view of where's the industry going to be in a year or two as well.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of doom and gloom about the real estate agent being replaced. I just don't see that happening.
I don't either.
I see a lot of people and companies trying to alarm real estate agents for their own personal motivations, like, come to my company or you'll die because of Zillow. Use my product or you won't keep up with Zillow, you know, or things like that.
Well, even Zillow is hiring agents today, so I don't know. You're right. I mean, they're.
And we covered this earlier when there are only a few people online, that Zillow announced just this week, just a couple of days ago, that Zillow is not going to buy any more houses for the rest of 2021. They're out of the house buying game. So just wanted to throw that in for those of you who didn't catch that earlier.
Original goal was to eliminate the real estate agent. I don't think that's their goal anymore.
No, now it's like we're just going to compete with them. And you know, would you be afraid if another RE/MAX entered the market? No, it's just another brokerage, you know? So taking over, I don't see it. I mean, what is their value proposition? We've got a bunch of leads that we give to our agents. Ooh, there's something novel. Like, it seems like everyone does that.
I read an article this morning, not published by Zillow, published by somebody else, that said that Zillow, you know, people think it's such a threat, but they're only working with 5% of the agents in the industry. And I don't know, they didn't say what percentage of the homes they were working with in the industry, because it was really comparing them against a competitor moving into the space. But you know, I mean, that was interesting for me to see that, you know, opportunities.
I mean, we coach clients. We have a lot of the big hitter clients, right? Because we coach a lot of teams and stuff, and we coach solo agents too. Don't get me wrong, but we've kind of established ourselves as the place where the big teams go. So we've got a lot of clients that sell 1,500, 2,000, 2,500 homes a year. And guess what? A lot of them do convert Zillow leads one way or the other. And it's such a small percentage of their business. And people from the outside looking in and say, oh, they get all their business from Zillow. we're talking like single digit percentages. I mean, the vast majority of their business is coming from other sources. Typically sphere of influence is, it's just the boring old answer no one wants to admit. They're just working the people they know, over and over and focusing on activity-based indicators of the dashboard, and their team is actually doing what everybody knows they should be doing because of that team accountability. There isn't a magic pill they're paying for. That does help supplement new agents typically until they get their own databases up and running. But that's generally speaking what's happening here. So, I'm not afraid of their emergence, and especially iBuyer. Again, they're now you've got a new home flipper in your neighborhood. Again, is this new to you? Like, if you live in an area where there aren't home flippers buying houses directly through wholesalers, if so, I don't know where that is, because everybody's used to that. I mean, that's been around for a long time, and they're used to people buying leads and giving it to their agent. So I really don't see them replacing the agent. In fact, it looks like they're running into a place where they're just realizing, hey, to be profitable, we have to compete with them, alongside them.
Yeah.
And bring it on. In my opinion, like if you're an agent and you cannot compete with an iBuyer program in your listing presentation script, then you do need to get a coach very, very quickly, because it's pretty easy to defeat the argument that they're using. Hey, we're going to buy your house for a really low amount, turn around it, and we're not going to charge you commission, but we're going to take all your profit when we sell it. That's not a hard argument to overcome as an agent, so that, I think we can get around that one. Say, hey, we'll just make you more money by just paying us a commission, and you keep the profit. So, not frightening to me. So I don't see that one. I really do think the realtor is very healthy. We're starting to see Amazon and Google really getting active into the home search and the realtor search space now. And they both need agents for those platforms to run, especially Google. So that's with their local service ads and the emergence of all of that, very much geared.
If you haven't got your local service ads going, then I suggest that you're missing a big boat. And I suggest that you go to the Real Estate Coaching Dude YouTube channel, and under videos, you can find that 1 hour session that we did on exactly how to do Google My Business and the Google local service ads and all that goes with it. And that's available to you again under Real Estate Coaching Dude YouTube channel, videos, and then it's all listed in titles there. But the 12 start programs for the new agents are there. So use that. Brian has been gracious enough to give us access because, we started off with him as our coaches. He's been coaching Shane and Matt and I for almost 3 years now, and Cell State expanded the use of it. So take advantage of that tool. Again, you hear it from me all the time, ad nauseum, but good technique doesn't care who uses it.
Around the agent, and just another way to distribute online leads, which is kind of neat. And so I really just see the agent being needed more and more and more throughout the process. It just affirms it. There's been some serious, threats allegedly that never even came close to materializing. And I'm still yet to see one that makes sense, that I'm really genuinely afraid of.
The two companies coming in, you mentioned Google. What was the other one you mentioned?
Amazon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Amazon's really just in beta right now, though. We did some.
You may have heard of those two small startup companies, Google and Amazon, getting into the real estate lead generation business. Fabulous.
Okay. So one of the things you mentioned in that answer was strengthening your database. And having worked with a lot of teams and a lot of solo agents, most of our customers are teams and brokerages like yours, but it seems to me the big missing piece for most solo agents that I know, they don't actually have a database. Like they don't pay for the software to effectively run a database where they're doing the effective follow-up and touches and things like that. Would you agree with that? Or what's your thought on that?
Oh, they certainly don't. I mean, it's agents are hypersensitive to cost. Is an understatement.
Yes.
And again, I think the concepts those 5 components of a team, like if you're a solo agent, man, you need to stop doing this alone. Like you're going to need, like whether it be a coach or a CRM, you're going to need to invest a little bit in your business here because otherwise you're not going to do it yourself. I've just watched thousands of agents over the years, and they're just too, you know, like even if they get a CRM, without someone pushing them or driving them forward, they're not even going to figure out how to use it. They're going to say it doesn't work or they don't like it. You know, that's, you know, the CRMs are fine. It's usually the user that's the problem here.
Yeah. So the thing about a team, they have accountability, they have a coach, they take that accountability level way up to the next level, right?
They have CRM.
Even if you are on a team, you should have a coach, right?
Yeah, it really should. Yeah.
But I can totally see as we dig into this why 1 in 10 agents survives if they go straight into a brokerage, and 1 in 3 if they go into a team.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I can vouch for that one all day long. And I do like the idea of not trying. I mean, hedge your bet. I mean, those numbers are daunting. So the way that you actually improve those numbers is getting help. You know, getting a CRM, using dashboards, getting a coach. That's how you really jimmy the odds, hedge your bet, and make sure that you beat the odds. Because I mean, if you look at all the top teams or top agents or what have you across the country, they've all got CRMs. They're all tracking their activities, and they've all got coaches. So I mean, success leaves clues. It's up to the agents to pick them up. You know, I mean, it's real clear.
Yeah. Well, Brian, I know you have a hard stop and I have a hard stop in a few minutes. So I've just got a couple more questions for you, but just such a great perspective sitting here talking to you today. So I really appreciate you jumping in and spending time with us. And just a couple of things on your personal side. Like what kind of things do you like to do in your spare time? You seem like you're in great shape. You are coaching, but what are you doing for fun when you're out and about?
Well, I live in California, so I like to surf. I'm a runner. I like to swim. I'm a swimmer my whole life, so I'm pretty active. I've got a wife and a couple kids. My wife, like yours, sells a lot of real estate. Sells a few hundred houses a year. She's got a real estate team as well too. But we're pretty darn active. We're beach people, so we like I said, we surf and we stand up paddle and we kayak and do all that kind of stuff. So we're real outdoors people. We run around a lot. She's doing her first triathlon. I've done a lot of triathlons in my life.
Awesome.
Those are kind of exhausting. So I still do those from time to time as well too. So pretty active. Love to travel. We're big travelers as well too, which is kind of fun.
So do you live in Orange County? Is that where you live?
No, I live in a small beach town called Morro Bay, California. It's north of there. It's not as far as San Francisco. It's probably right in between Los Angeles and San Francisco. It's a good way to say it.
Okay, great. So you said you love to travel. Tell us, what's the best place you've ever been? What's your favorite place in the world? Other than
wow, that's good. Man, I love history. So I went through Italy, and I just love Italy because I like all the history. Stuff goes really old there. Been to Istanbul. I love Istanbul, Constantinople because of all the history. So checking out all the mosques and learning about all the different empires that ran that place was really, really cool. Those are some great places. I've been to Fiji. Again, beach guy. So that as far as beaches go.
We're gonna put a stop to it there because we're at that 1 o'clock, and I really aim to keep everybody to that 1 hour that I promised you. So we're at the hour now. Please, when we have the meetings, try to show up a little earlier so we can get started because there's still a few minutes left on that. But before we go, as you get ready to sign off, if anybody and everybody would just take a turn, where's the favorite place you've ever been? Anybody?
Israel.
Ooh. That was Arthur climbed up the mountain in Israel with his shoes on the wrong feet. I remember
Good
that.
story.
Israel, anybody else?
I had the pleasure of ending up in Antarctica. I went to Antarctica 10 years ago.
Wow.
By mistake, I ended up there. I spent 4 days there, and that was an incredible experience.
By mistake, I'm going to hear that story sometime. By mistake, I ended up in Antarctica.
Yes, I did. It's a long story, John, but it's a good one.
We'll do that over a beer. All right. Thank you. Antarctica's heard from another continent. Never been there yet. Anybody else? Vera, Rob, Rich, Samantha, Gladys.
My favorite is Hawaii.
Aloha. We got married in Hawaii. We were there 5 minutes out of the airport. My wife looked at me and said, Monaghan, we could live here. All right, Hawaii, who else? Mila? Sam, Samantha, you did some traveling recently. Gladys is a traveler. Go, Gladys.
I have. Yeah, I went to a cavern in a very remote place in Mexico City, and they rolled me down. I gathered more than 150 feet underground. I promised myself I'll never do that again.
Yeah, you only want to get buried once.
Exactly.
All right, great. So Mexico. Let's see, Rob. Rob, have you done any traveling?
Not as much as you guys, but trying to think, maybe Niagara Falls or Key West, maybe. I'm a Florida boy, so
Key
kinda gotta-
West. That's where I met the wife. She wanted to complain to the manager at the resort operation I was running. That's why
That's
I tell
awesome.
people, always be very careful with customer complaints. True story.
Hey, John, can I play Love Shack one more time just for you?
At the end when we're signing off. What about you, Samantha Veliz?
Velez.
Vélez. No español. Un poco y muy malo.
Where have I been to lately, or was it? I went to the last trip I took was Haiti, actually. I went to Haiti for the first time and I was amazed on how beautiful it is there, and it was just so nice. It was like a random, unexpected trip. I definitely look forward to doing more things like that.
And one of the reasons I'm saying this at the
So
end of the
close
meeting.
too.
Yeah, one of the reasons I'm saying this at the end of the meeting is it's great to be outcome focused, drive for that outcome, but associate benefits with it. Deeply embed the pleasures that you're going to get out of completing that work, so that when you're in the midst of it, you get to keep your eye on the prize with some very positive energy. Because we love to travel. That's why we went out and got this motorhome called the Love Shack. Because, my wife and I, a couple of the luckiest people you've ever met, we've lived and worked around the world: Australia, New Zealand, Israel, Croatia, all through South America, North America. It's been very fortunate. Lived in China. So now we're going to really pay attention and go see the USA and all the things, but give yourself the benefits. Like I said, we're calling it the Monaghan Love Shack. And for short, we're calling it the MLS, because real estate's been very, very good to me. Arthur, start the Love Shack. Folks, we're done. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, same bat link.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Gladys, I like that backdrop. With the outfit that you're wearing, it looks really clean and white and sparkly.
Well, thank you.
Mila, take care. Arthur, thanks again. Over and out.